Broadcasting from the Evergreen Media Network studios in Vero Beach, Florida. It's Huntin with Heather.
Hey y'all, welcome to Hunt with Heather. I am your host, Heather Hawk. This is season 2, episode 8. Welcome. If you're new to this show is dedicated to all those who love to hunt, love the outdoors, and those who want to learn more. Whether you're a seasoned hunter or a green hunter, this show's going to be packed full of information. We're going to talk deer, turkey, and everything in between. And of course, you can't forget about those stories, the stories that keep us coming back for more. So grab a seat, sit back, and let's talk hunting. Before I introduce my guest today, I want to give a shout out to my sponsor, Jake Witt with State Farm. Yes, that's right, you guys. It's the Jake, the OG Jake with State Farm. If you're looking for an agent with a hometown feel who wants to save you money, give him a call. 772-500-5253. Again, it's Jake Witt with State Farm. And of course, I always have to give a shout out to the boys at Boars and Broads, B&B. If you love dogs and if you love hogs and running dogs, this is going to be your jam. Go check out their content. It is crazy, wild, raw. And while you're over there, go check out their merchandise. They've got shirts, hats, kids' clothes, and shoes. Again, that's Boars and Broads, B&B. Go check them out. You guys, we are 5 days in a week up from Christmas. Crazy to think, right? The season has been moving so quick. As you can see, I've got my festive shirt on for the holidays. But with that Christmas coming, it also means that our season is starting to dwindle down. We do, I believe, have till January 19th for Florida Zone C for deer. Yeah, we can continue to hog hunt, but for deer season. So we're going to definitely be out there. I know my husband and I will definitely be out there as much as possible. So let me introduce my guest today. I'm super excited all the way from the big state of Texas. I have Kelly Godfrey with Texas Women's Outdoors. Thanks, Kelly, for coming on.
Thanks for having me. I'm excited to be here.
Yeah. So let's talk a little bit about you. Let the audience know who you are. Well, we know you live in Texas. I already said that. But how you got into hunting, and just give us a little bit of a background.
Okay. So my name's Kelly Godfrey, and I started hunting way back when I think I was like I wouldn't say hunting, but I started out as like my dad's bird dog early on at like 4 or 5 years old. And so from there, as I got older, he taught me more of firearm safety, shooting the firearms, and then getting into the harvesting part, and then field dressing and all that stuff, because I helped him forever. I'd hold a leg on a deer or something just to make it easier on him. And then the older I got, he was like, well, hey, you've done this with me so much, why don't you start doing it? So that's what we did. And then he taught me. So I've learned what I know mainly from my dad. And then in 2011, I lost him to cancer. So from there, I kind of like, oh gosh, now what, because he was like my hunting partner, my everything. And he was who I'd call, when I harvested something. After that, I think it was 2015, I finally graduated college, and I also have background in wildlife management with a minor in biology. Got married, had some kids. When we had kids, I had to stay home from work, or we decided that staying home from me going to work was better, because it was just, we couldn't find, good childcare. My husband's schedule was crazy. My schedule was crazy. I was a park ranger for the Army Corps of Engineers at the time, working nights, weekends, and holidays. And that's hard with kids. And so I became a stay-at-home mom after my son was born in 2018. Well, as you all know, I'm sure, just like me, it's hard being at home, and then, you don't have the people to go to work with, or, things to do. So when my husband come off the road, I was like, I got to get out of the house. And I had friends that I love dearly in 20 plus years, but they just like to go shopping or go get a drink or something like that. And I'm like, I'm in my, late 30s. I've got 2 little kids. I wanna go spend time outdoors. I wanna get back to doing the things I love doing. Being outside was like my therapy. And so I wanted to find more girlfriends that would do that with me. And I'm like, I'm in a small town in Comanche, Texas. It's hard to find people, in small towns, and especially if you're not from there. So I just put it out to my regular Facebook and I said, hey, would anybody want to go camping with me? So long story short, I think we ended up having like 7 or 8 ladies on the first camping trip we did, if you will, as a group. And we went camping at Lake Whitney, Texas. And from there, as we were doing things and just getting women together, people were sharing stuff on social media. And so ladies like, I want to learn more. I want to know how to do this. And how do you do this? And that kind of thing. So it just evolved. And I started a group, community group that way, just to keep it all together, and so ladies could kind of follow what we were doing, and people were inviting people into the group. Well, by the end of 2021, or closer to the end of 2021, we had like 300 and something people in this Facebook community group. And I was like, oh my gosh, like women are really interested in what we're doing and love this. And so we would do stuff here and there, and fishing and that kind of thing. Well, then I was talking to a friend of mine that she ran a small business, and she was like, if something happens, we need to make sure to cover you and your family. And I was like, well, what's the best thing to do? And so at the time, I just turned it into an LLC. And so now it's a business, and we've grown so much in the last year and a half. It just blossomed. And I cannot be more blessed because I've met so many amazing women along the way that I now can call, family and friends, and some of them even work with me now as far as like being on our team. And so it's just amazing the things that we've done and are doing, and it's crazy.
I love it. I absolutely love this. Because I can totally relate to you on spending time in the outdoors, and a lot of people don't get it. They don't understand
Yeah.
that it is therapy. Because I have a lot of friends. I live where I grew up. But a lot of them just want to go have, a drink, like you said, or shopping, which is
Yeah.
fine. But I
Yeah.
truly love sitting in a deer stand or hiking
Yes.
or just being out there in the woods. So finding
Yep.
other women. I mean, I have my husband, and I am so grateful. He is my hunting partner. We
Yes.
do literally everything together. But I do have a friend one of my best friends that likes to hunt too. But it is nice hunting with women. And so
Yes.
I love that you have started this organization, and how cool it has flourished just from a small few women. Because I get women all the time that I know, and they're like, hey, I want to come out and hunt with you, and I want to do this. And I'm like, well, yeah, let's do it. But there's a lot more to it than,
Right.
I mean,
Yes.
there's a lot more to it. So I love how you started off camping and then just how it evolved from there.
Yes.
So with your organization, and you have a website, which Jesse, the producer, had it on there, they can go on there and sign up for these events that you have. Can you tell me a little
Yes.
bit? Can you walk us through a little bit of I saw some of the events. You even have stuff like getting your kids outdoors and
Yes.
virtual. Some of them are virtual. So if you don't even live in Texas, you can still join on.
Yes. So we have incorporated virtual courses and things like that, because I know, obviously being a mom to myself, or just having crazy schedules, it's hard. And with the economy, it's expensive to get out there and do things and go to events. So we're trying to come up with more ideas to keep more women involved, and that can be a part of the organization and don't even have to show up in person. And so that's when we started doing the virtual courses, which has been amazing. We've had a lot of good feedback, and a lot of people have really enjoyed that too. And just another avenue and way to add more education in, because our mission is getting more women outdoors. However, that is, if we can educate women, my thing is too, if we're educating women, especially stay at home moms, or moms with kids, or moms with families, or moms that are there with their children more, it seems like they can take it home to their kids, and then their kids can, go from there as well. So that's real important, because if we don't educate the younger generations, they're not going to know about conservation,
That's
harvesting
right.
animals, feeding their family, and that kind of thing. So we really have to focus on that end, and however we can get more women educated, because we get women that come to us too that either don't want to learn from their significant others, they want to learn from women, which is great. And then the other thing too is some women just don't know where to start, or didn't have a dad growing up, or didn't have, or lost their significant other that doesn't hunt, or so she
Hmm.
can't hunt anymore. So they're like, still want to learn more, I still want to do more, but I don't have that avenue or that way to do it. So that opens up the door for that too.
I think that's great because there is, sometimes, like you said, women are, it can be uncomfortable having learning from a man in whatever reason. Not everyone's like that, but
Yes.
some, they just like the camaraderie, like with other women and
Yes.
learning, and like, whether you're
Fellowship.
experienced or not, or whatever it is. I mean, we're
Right.
constantly learning, right? So I'm sure every
Yes.
time you go to one of these events, or like a virtual event, whatever it is, you're learning, and you're just, whether it's learning the
Yep.
lingo, learning the lay of the hunting, whatever it is, you're going to be learning. Like you said, it's great too if you've got kids.
Yes.
And I've heard this one time. I always say this, and I've said it too, is mentoring, which you're doing to other women, and they can do to their kids, is conservation.
Yep.
Mentoring is conservation, because if we do not teach,
Right.
like you said, our children or our next generation, what are they going to know about it? What are they going to
Right.
think? So I love
Right.
that. I love that you're reaching out to the moms and or aunts, whatever it is.
Yep.
I think that's so
Yes.
important. I love it. So talk about. I know you have a retreat that you do every year, right?
Mhm.
And
Yes.
you have one coming up in April. Is that correct?
April. Yep.
Okay.
April,
think I was
I
looking at
can't
it
remember the
earlier.
date.
I have it right here.
April
Hold
11th,
on. Yeah.
11th through 13th.
So let's say I want to do this retreat. I could fly in there, right? And then you provide where I'm going to stay at and everything else, correct? This
Yes,
is great.
you show up
Yeah.
on Friday, you get lodging, food included, and then we'll have, we'll send out an email beforehand where you can pick your classes, and we'll kind of tailor them for like groups. So we'll pick and choose your classes, and then when you show up, you'll have like an itinerary, and it just tells you, at this time you'll have this class, and then they'll have some breaks, and then there'll be stuffs around too where you can go look at. And last year we had like a raffle. We're going to try and add in a few more different things this year if it all works out. But yeah, it's amazing. Last year was like our first one. We keep it small, intimate, so we open it up to like 25 ladies, and that way, you have smaller groups, and it's
Sure.
just easier to, talk to people and get one-on-one time too that way, which is nice. The As ladies were leaving that Sunday, that's when it hit me, because I had a few ladies coming up to me, and they were just crying, and they were just so happy, and they were like, I'm so thankful I found you. Like, this group has just been everything. And just going through this weekend, like learning how to shoot a firearm, learning how to start a fire, learning how to do whatever they wanted to do. And we gave them that opportunity to just, educate themselves and just be more what's the word, empowered, or
So,
more
yeah, or self-sufficient, empowered,
yeah,
anything like that.
self-sufficient,
Yeah, in the
empowered.
woods. Yeah.
And so and they were giving me hugs and just crying with tears, and they're like, I'm just love it. And so as I left that Sunday driving back home, I was like, this is what we've got to keep doing. This, like, we've got to keep moving forward. Like,
Yeah.
women need this stuff. Like,
Yeah.
we need to keep doing what we're doing. And I just, from there, it's just like it lit another fire in me. I'm like, oh my gosh, like, what else can we do? Like, and that's when we started adding in. We also have a base camp membership now too, which is awesome, because you can join. It's good, you sign up for a year, but you get all these little perks, like either businesses have given us discounts to give the ladies, and then we have like perks within our membership for just TWO, where if you are a member, you get to sign up for the virtual courses for free. There's a code for that. So when they register, you can just sign up for that. So there's other things in there too. Like you get events dropped to you first for 2 weeks, and then it goes into everybody else. So we added that in too, and that's been great. Way to get more ladies involved. Just whatever we can do there.
Yeah, I love it. So, because even if you're not in Texas, so ladies,
Yes.
if you're listening, men, if maybe you want to get your women involved in the outdoors and they're just kind of not wanting to, this might be a great opportunity for you to say, hey, honey, try this. Go with other women. Maybe you don't want to go with me. Maybe you don't want to do the man thing with the men or whatever it is, but you want to be with other women. And I guarantee you, most of the time, they get hooked.
Yes.
And so, and like you said, we're fortunate. You were fortunate to have your dad teach you these things. I've been very fortunate to have my husband teach me everything that I know about, but not everyone always has that, and so this is great. I love it.
Yes.
I love to see women so into the outdoors but for so many different reasons.
Yes.
It could be, like you said, therapy, or there's just that peace of mind going out there, the peace that you get.
Yep.
And look at that. I love that right there, that picture.
Yeah.
Tell me about that.
So this is at one of our favorite places we love going, and now we go down there probably I think 3 times a year, but we go for like teal hunting, big duck, gator hunting. This is one of our favorite outfitters we use now. It's Central Flyway Outfitters down in Texas, and we have the best time. We get a group of women that come out. We ride a big thing. It looks like a tank. It's called the Marshmaster, and it takes us out to the marsh, and it drops us off at, and when you get up and you go, it's pitch black. Well, then when the sun comes up, you're like on this little island in a pit blind, and the ducks are flying in like crazy. I mean, it is the best time. And then they'll come pick you back up on the Marshmaster and take you back to the lodge, and we just have the best time.
That's
here.
awesome. So what are you doing? Are you doing another one this year? Of one of those hunts?
Our last hunt. We have the last hunt with them this to end the season with big ducks is going to be the second weekend in January.
Okay.
And then that'll be it for the year until September when we go back for teal and gator.
Nice. Yeah.
Yeah, 11th and 12th. There's another one there. That's on the back of the Marshmaster.
Cool.
That was
I love it.
Teal hunt. Yeah, there's a teal. It's so much fun. We love it down there.
Yeah.
And that's the other thing too, since we've been doing this. Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
That's a bow fishing trip, and we use Flying Arrows Outfitters, and they're a lot of fun too. He's a great guy.
The bow fishing?
Bow fishing. That was a bow fishing trip.
So I have a friend who does them. He guides, and I went with him, I don't know, a few months ago. Oh my gosh. Like the adrenaline on that too. It's like as exciting as like having that buck or something come in, or, that's like, it is. That is so much fun too. Bow fishing. I can't wait for him to take us back out. And that's just, and you don't even have to be a bow hunter. Like you don't even have to know like how to. Actually, he says sometimes it's better when you're not, because, we have I bow hunt. So we have our ways already, you know what I mean? And so when I don't know. So yeah, that's so much fun.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Okay, so what's this?
A pheasant hunt that we do in Oklahoma, and the guide there is awesome as well. It's Caney Outfitters, and he does a pheasant hunt for us, and we have the best time with Todd, and we go out there, and it's one of those ones where they'll put the birds out, but then they still have the dog that flushes them. So, and then at the end, we do like a mock tower shoot. So he'll set them out and throw them up in the air, whatever, and we all shoot them. So everybody gets to go home with pheasants too.
That's one thing I have not. I've done bird hunting once with my husband. He's done it a lot. But I'm like, I want to do this. Like, I want to go bird hunting, whether it's pheasant, quail, whatever it is. Duck. We do have a duck hunt at the end of the month. It's a little different here, and I'm sure it's like that in Texas because you got a lot of gators wading through the marsh and different things like that. But
Yes.
you know, but I'm definitely, that's something I want to get into. I want to do like a pheasant hunt. I want to watch the dogs. I heard the dogs are amazing to watch in action.
That's been my favorite thing with like waterfowl hunting because I just started waterfowl hunting. This is probably what my 4th season. My very first one was 4 years ago, and I fell in love with it because there's just so much involved with the birds flying in, going to the decoys, learning all the different birds, and then to factor in the dogs working. And there's been times where the guys are like, shoot, shoot, shoot. And I'm just mesmerized by watching the dogs do their job. And so I'm just like, oh, hold on.
I know. I would probably be doing the same thing.
Yes, because your first few times you just kind of like take it all in. It's like, oh wow, like this is so cool. Like there's so much going on, but it's just like, I don't know. And now I'm hooked. I do it on my own, and then I still go to my favorite outfitters and go with them as well, especially with like our group. Like it's just so fun.
Yeah, that's what they say. Once you start duck hunting, or bird hunting, whatever it is, then you definitely usually get hooked. A lot of people are either one or the other. Some are like straight up hardcore duck hunters, and then some are, just deer hunters, like they say, or whatever, or big game hunters or something like that. But I don't know. So what's your favorite game to hunt? If you had to pick
one. Deer.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it used to be deer, but now it's more, now that I'm learning more and I've found waterfowl, I love duck hunting, and turkey hunting too is a lot. I really don't have like a real favorite, but the last few seasons I've really gotten more into turkey hunting and then duck hunting because it's just, there's a lot more involved, and I'm more mobile, and so I'm like, okay, I don't have to just sit there and wait.
Yeah, it's turkey hunting is probably by far my favorite. I mean, I like it all when you're doing it, but there's something about turkey hunting. Sometimes we'll run and gun, but sometimes we sit in blinds too. So it can be a long sit, but but turkey and we have Osceolas here. So
nice.
You need to come. You should come and visit and get your Osceola, and I've got somewhere for you to stay. And yeah, so we're right in the heart of the Osceolas down where I'm at. Okay. And so definitely. So the show's going to have to wrap up here in just a few, but I want to ask you, what is a tip that you could give to a fellow hunter? Something, I mean, we have patience. Everyone says patience, but is there anything that you would, tell someone, especially new or even someone that's been in it?
Yep. So I get this, I get women to come to me all the time. I'm just nervous. I'm scared. So I tell everybody this. I'm like, everybody starts somewhere. Everybody starts somewhere with something. So show up. I mean, that's the first thing. You got to show up. You got to be open-minded, and you have to want to learn. And what I do and how I do one thing might be different from somebody else teaching you, but it all ends up at the end being the same thing. So just because I teach you one way doesn't mean that that's the one and only way. You just have to be open-minded, and then you can take things from different people that teach you different things, and then figure out what works best for you.
Yeah. I think that's great. Yeah. And be okay making mistakes, because that's what hunting's about. You learn, there's lessons, there's blessings, there's everything you learn. I mean, so definitely be okay with that. And then, so for the people that are listening that are not watching the show, that are listening, how can we get a hold of you? How can we get to your website?
Okay. So our website is texaswomensoutdoors.com. We also have a Facebook community group that's private, women only. It's Texas Women's Outdoors Community. We have a Facebook page called Texas Women's Outdoors. And then we also have an Instagram, which is at TWO 2021 Outdoors. And so,
fantastic.
And then,
awesome.
And then you'll find our events and register all online. So
I've looked at it. It was really easy. Kelly, thank you so much for coming on the show. And Merry Christmas to you, and Merry Christmas to all my listeners. Thank you to my sponsors, Jake Witt with State Farm, B&B, Boars and Broads. Merry Christmas, you guys. Go get outdoors.
Good.
Okay.